Okay, so I've got this working. I can generate a random number where the input is seed, for instance. That's the node here. So if I change the seed to 8, it'll just use the function. It's not generating a new function in this node every time, only if I change the prompt. So I can just use this same function if I don't change the prompt there and get a random number based off that seed. The actual code that it used is just pyrandom. So I've made it so that it can import like the top most popular 15 or so standard Python imports, which means that it's limited to that. It shouldn't be able to, or I don't think at least it can do anything like, PyPy and importing and stuff like that, but it does have access to shutil, so you could technically try to make it use shutil to do something there. I'm probably going to add another part of the final prompt, which gives it some information that says like, okay, these are the imports that you have available for you to do this. And then there could be some way for it to figure out how to set up a virtual environment, blah, blah, blah. I mean, there's tons of stuff that you could do inside of a function here. So this is a very simple example, but I can just change it to make output the input multiplied by 5. So this should output 100. And it's going to take a sec this time, but yeah, there we go. So it took a sec because it had to use the API call to OpenAI, but there it goes, multiplied by 5. Now I'm just using an AnyNode here. So the thing is that I don't have anything set up yet for larger let's just say that they're non-standard elements. So things like models, like if I was going to go in here and say load checkpoint, you would load your checkpoint in here and you'd be able to hook up the model to there, but this input would cause an error in the node. So, basically it needs to be aware of the types of input, which is what I'm working on as well, to get those input types and then putting those in the final prompt. So there's a couple of things left to do, but I can probably save those for tomorrow's update. It's just kind of cool to mess around with anyway, just for simple stuff. I could probably get it to use the input. The other thing I want to do is make it so that it can do the same thing as the switch node on RG3, so that it uses the switch to add in more as I drag stuff to it, so that it has more inputs, and then I can just declare what I want it to do with each input or how I want it to work. And then I think each input would have an output that goes along to it, but yeah, those would all have their names. They would be named input 1, input 2, input 3, input 4, and input 5, let's just say, to the LLM. So these names that I'm talking about, those are names that would be given to the LLM as how to name these inputs. On Comfy themselves, they're just called any. Each one is just called any. So anyway, that's that. Let me know what you guys think, what stuff you think you could build with this, and where I should go with it, basically.